What's going on, guys? Mr. Octagonal here. Now, today we are back with the Westlake Hornets Teambuilder Dynasty here on NCAA Football 14. As today we do off-season recap as well as the season preview. Now, usually with the season previews, we are at the original screen with like the depth chart, custom schedule, recruiting. But we're already at week 2 because I accidentally deleted a file. So that's nice. Hopefully it won't affect the video too much, but that is a little bit annoying. So I'm going to start with an off-season recap. Recap everything that happened during these streams on Saturday, and yeah. Let's recap this off-season if you missed the stream or just forgot what happened. So starting in the National Championship, that went to Jake Fromm and the Georgia Bulldogs, 55-38 over Maryland. Both of our coordinators left for new jobs, as our defensive coordinator, Seistik Youngblood, is now the head coach at Central Michigan, and our offensive coordinator and former Illinois player, Jackson Kelly, is going to Illinois' rival, Indiana. So I'm very happy for these two that they're getting head coaching jobs. I think they're going to lead their schools to some great success, and they've worked very hard the past 4 seasons at Westlake. The Hornets' new coordinators are very different from each other, as the offensive coordinator is Doc Holliday. He is a level 26, and the max level is 27. So as you can see, he is really good. I'm very excited to see what Westlake's offense can do next year. However, the defensive coordinator, Kyle Peters, is a level 1. He must have just graduated community college or something. So looking at players who are leaving, Sebastian Jackson wants to transfer to Indiana. He wants to follow his offensive coordinator, but we were able to convince him to stick around. And then seniors leaving, Richard Harris, solid offensive lineman. Mel Flint, the leader of our defense. Clay Fontenot, solid tight end. Cedric Whitlock, he had about 2 receptions his whole career. Eddie Goolsby, he was a good slot receiver as a senior. Rashawn Lilly, he started the past 4 years. He's been good. Jermaine Timmons, he's been a good depth guy. Parker Bradford and Alonzo Woodard, they were 1-year starters this year. And neither of them were great, but both of them did have some good moments, especially Bradford. Lionel Cotton, he was an offensive tackle. He was the left tackle and started all 4 years. C.J. Clifford, solid backup quarterback. Trey Cooper Jr., 4-year starter, really good defensive end. Calvin Richardson, 4-year starter at kicker. He made a bunch of clutch kicks. He also missed a few clutch kicks. David Baker, he played everywhere in the defensive backfield. He was really solid. Cortez Foreign, the greatest player in program history, at least right now. Super good receiver. Carlos Homan, good depth corner. Ellis Thomas completed 1 pass in his career. And then Joel Clayton, I believe he started 2 or 3 years. He was a solid player. So looking at recruiting, probably the most important part of the offseason, Sean Briggs, the 5-star athlete, got 4,865 points. William Underwood, the 3-star guard, got 5,745. Owen Jackson, middle linebacker, got 1,650. Tyree Cooper got 0 because we didn't really need a defensive end. Sandu Fishing got 2,240. And then 4-star athlete Ron Robinson got 500. So looking at those guys, Sandu Fishing, the tight end and custom recruit, did end up committing. Arizona State only lost out by 230 points, so that is definitely a stinger for them. And this should be a very solid addition for the Hornets. He can block and he can catch, so he's a very well-rounded player. Ron Robinson is a quarterback, which isn't a huge need for Westlake. He's going to be going to UCLA. They gave him a decent amount of points. And Westlake's going to have to play this guy pretty much every season because they did move conferences, as you will see. So that shouldn't be fun for the Hornets. Tyreek Cooper, as I said, Westlake wasn't going to go after him. He did go to Syracuse. They put on about 2,000 points. Westlake wasn't going to put on 2,000. They just don't need a defensive end that bad. Sean Briggs, the 5-star athlete with 98 speed. He ended up committing. Stanford was in second with 2,095 points away, and then USC was 2,200. Briggs can play running back as well as corner, but he's actually going to play strong safety. Not his natural position, but it is more of a need, and he can do that. William Underwood, 3-star guard, but he is the talent of a 5-star. He's going to be a day 1 starter. Westlake was able to get him over Oklahoma State, who we almost committed to in season. Westlake is kind of lucky they got him, but they did. And then another custom recruit, Owen Jackson. He will be the middle linebacker, not this year or next year, but starting in Season 7, he will be the starter there. So here's a look at the full recruiting class. Sean Briggs, who we talked about, Agobo Anecho, he's probably going to start day 1. Everett Lemieux, he's probably going to start day 1. Bryant Barnes, he's going to be an athlete, wide receiver, probably going to redshirt. Matt Fellows, he's going to be the Calvin Richardson replacement. Ryan Hall, Nick McLaurin, Tony Thomas, Victor Richardson, Kyle Rivero, Julian Petaway, Scott Wheaton, they are all going to be redshirted. Sandu Fishing, he might start day one. Brenton Scott will likely be redshirted. Ryan Reginald will start day one. Owen Jackson will get redshirted. William Underwood, he is going to be a day one starter at that guard spot. Phillips, Woodard, Adams, and Porter will all be redshirted as well. Westlake has moved conferences before. Remember, Season 1, they were an independent, and in the past 3 years, they have been in the Mountain West. Well, Westlake's now too good for the Mountain West. 3 years and 3 conference championships, and the Hornets are moving to the Pac-12. BYU and Boise State are also moving to the Pac-12, and Oregon State is moving to the Mountain West. So instead of having 3 Power 5 teams on their regular season schedule, Westlake is now going to have 11 Power 5 teams on their schedule, regular season schedule, at least this season. So it's certainly going to be a big adjustment, but I think this team is good enough to take it. So that is it for the offseason recap. I know we did other stuff on the offseason stream like custom schedule and red shirts, but we'll just go over that in a live com format. Here's a look at our schedule for the season. Week 1 bye week. That's why we're at week 2 right now. And speaking of week 2, our opponent is going to be the Texas Longhorns. It is going to be a national broadcast game Saturday night in Burmester. That should be a fun one. Then week 3 on my birthday, Westlake's going to be headed up to Boston to take on the Boston College Eagles and A.J. Dillon. Week 4 of the New Mexico State Aggies. Week 5 at Colorado. Week 6 at Washington. Week 7 at Utah, or at USC. Week 8 at home against Utah. Week 9 bye week. Week 10 home against UCLA. Week 11 home against Washington State. Home against Arizona State, at Arizona, and at BYU. So we have a lot of home and road games bunched. And the thing that I'm not too huge on about the schedule is at the end, 2 road games to finish it off. Our last home games at week 12. A little tip is to schedule home games as late as possible, because week 13 and 14 were both home games for us last year, and that was a huge advantage recruiting-wise to get late visits, so yeet. Well, I would look at preseason All-American stuff, but obviously that's gone, so I can't do that. So we're going to do red shirts. I'm just going to have to memorize these by heart. I know these two, Victor Richardson and Ryan Hall, are redshirted. Tony Thomas is getting redshirted. Bunch of wide receivers are getting redshirted. Brian Barnes, Kyle Rivero, Jimmy Woodard, Nick McLaurin, and Robert Phillips. Offensive line, I think we have a couple. I think on the right side. Jeremy was redshirted last year. Ian Pope is being redshirted this year. So is Jamar Porter. Left end, Robert Adams. Right end, is any of our right ends? Nope. Defensive tackle, nope. Left outside linebacker, Scott Wheaton's getting redshirted. Middle linebacker, Owen Jackson getting redshirted. And then right outside linebacker, nobody. Corner, I don't think any of these guys are being redshirted this year. 3 safety, Micah Ashley. Strong safety, Sean Briggs, the 5-star athlete with 98 speed. And then Brenton Scott. And then I believe that is it for redshirts. Here's a look at the depth chart. Of course, at quarterback will be Champ Britton. Benjamin Gold is his backup. And then the emergency backup is going to be the sophomore cornerback, Wesley McNamara. He played quarterback in high school. Running back will be Alex Ellis and Sebastian Jackson. Fullback, Randy Larkin. Wide receiver, we were deciding between Everett Lemieux and, Brian Barnes. We ended up going with Lemieux because he just has better hands. Dustin Schwend, Michael Wilson, Aoa Luco. Tight end, Sandu Fishing. Left tackle, Ryan Reginald. Chris Beckett. David James. William Underwood. And Patrick Dennis. Left end is going to be Isaac Solomon. Right end, Brock Rivero. D-tackle, KJ Casimir and Chad Langford. Left outside linebacker is going to be Alex Coker. Middle linebacker, Chip Barron. Right outside linebacker, Ogobo Anecho. Cornerback, Wesley McNamara, Quentin Campbell, and Jeremy Harrington. 3 safety, Leon Moore. Strong safety, Ash Jakar. Kicker, Matt Fellows. Punter, Kevin McKinney. Kick returners, Sebastian Jackson and A.A. Luco. Punt returner will be Jackson. Kickoffs by Kevin McKinney, and then the long snapper will be Mr. David So James. Unfortunately, we can't go through like the original stuff and see who's interested, since I've already started recruiting, obviously. So let's take a look here, starting with Peyton Curtis. Hear of his name before? You probably did hear of his name on the recruiting specials. He's not a 5-star, he's actually a 4-star, but as you can see, he is pretty much as talented as a 5-star. We've not given anyone a scholarship yet because we are very close to getting insta-commit, and we are very close to first place. Only 5 points away. Wide receiver, Nigel Wiggins. I think we have a good chance of getting him. Didn't mean to do that. Theo Galloway. It looks like he wants to go to Boise State. We are second. Adam Alexander, the #1 player in the country. This guy is literally a clone of Sean Briggs. They might be the exact same height. They have the exact same face. They ran the exact same 40-yard dash, 4.26. They both have 98 speed, and they both have pretty much identical stats. And they're also both 81 overall. So, yeah, they're literally the same person. Matt Parsons, he looks like he wants to come, the #1 outside linebacker in the country. Pete Cooper, it's going to be hard. Same thing with Michael Singleton. Patrick Young, looks like he might come. Mike Carter, an athlete. I believe he looks like a linebacker. I see that 80 tackle. It's about it that he's actually good at. Jimmy Gray, the #1 safety. We don't need a safety at all, but we could use depth. Josh Wilson, just put him on the board. And then these guys currently aren't getting any points. That is subject to change. We are first for a lot of these guys, so I guess that's good. So, yeah. Fun. By the way, this guy's a gem. So, if we don't get Peyton Curtis, maybe Joshua Jones will be the quarterback of the future. That is going to end the episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Next episode, we'll be taking on the #4 ranked Texas Longhorns, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Kirk Herbstreit is a wuss. He's not going to get that pick right. So, yeah. Have a good one, everyone.